Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing all right.
Coming to us from post ESC engagement.
No, I thought, well,
Aren't you rolling off?
Yes, I rolling off, stumbling off. Not sure the right verb. Yeah, my appointment I thought runs through the end of the month, so I think this is my last official ESC thing.
Oh,
and then I'm still on the Open Space and Recreation Plan Committee as the ESC representative, even though I'm not on ESC. So I'll be doing that for a while.
got it.
So yeah, so I figured I should be here, but
Thank you. And
but
we have an event featuring you, so it might be worth being.
Yeah. But I'll have short timer's disease, and I'll be disconnected and say things that aren't helpful. No, I won't do that. I'll try not to do that.
It's okay. We'll forgive you if you do. All right. Pardon me. I was figuring out the host code and the closed captioning. And it is 7:32, and I'll call this meeting to order. William, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Getting ramped up, busy with AP stuff, but glad to be here.
Good. And I don't think we're expecting Dan, but I don't know.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, to order. We were just finishing up bath night, so not quite all the way prepared to start the meeting on time. And I apologize for that. All right, let's see. Let me pull up the agenda. Today's April 24th. So let's see. I could share the agenda, I suppose. Pardon the sound of elephants above me. It's actually just my not quite 5-year-old stomping. All right, so looks like we don't have any public participation. Since there is no members of the public here, shall we tackle the minutes from March 13th?
Aye, so moved. Accept.
Motion to approve the minutes by Sean. They're good by me. Sean?
Yep.
William?
Yep.
Good. Approved. Review engagement with social media, with existing media, which is not all social. I think I told you all last time I got temporarily kicked out of one of the Facebook community groups in town. Did I tell you about that?
Yep.
The biggest one, the 15,000 member one, because I was posting too much. So now I am no longer sharing all of the things to that group. I'm sharing all the things to the other groups, and sharing only once a week-ish occasional to that group. I was going to share the next week's event to that group soon, or reshare to them. But otherwise, Facebook stuff's going fine. There have been a whole bunch of great posts that Robin helped tee up relevant to Earth Day, a lot of stuff about native plants and no mow May and dandelions and things like that. So yeah, so good. Facebook's going fine. William, any news on the Instagram? Are you and Jen were working on it?
I've not gotten much word back from Jen, but I've currently been setting up the Instagram account, and was a little curious as to like the title or like the category we are putting ourselves in. I think the options that I saw were environmental consultant, town hall, local service, and environmental service.
Of those options, I'd maybe say local service.
Okay, great.
Or not a town hall. Like that would be like if Jen had one for the whole town of Wakefield government, I would say that. So I'd say not town hall.
And then I guess I should put out what suggestion what should it be our name for the Instagram account? I so far I've just put Wakefield Environmental Sustainability Committee, but it can be changed.
Is that too long or is that okay?
I think it's okay.
Then I would do that. That's clearest.
Right. And
Assuming there isn't one of those already.
and should I link your email as well with this account?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Thank you. And did I send you, like, I think it's just my Gmail that's associated with.
Yeah, I think I have it.
Okay, cool. Good. Well, that's exciting. And then I think really like we should probably just share similar content as we're doing on Facebook, particularly any of the, more visual things when there's some sort of, photo or imagery associated. But we can experiment. We can see.
Reels and video format as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, that'll be fun. And we should promote it, I guess, mostly on Facebook and our email list. But then we can also add it to the, how to hear about us, that we have some signs that we bring to events and stuff like that. So when we've got it set up, we should grab like a QR code of the, like, wherever you get to follow.
I think it'd just be like the @ yeah.
Oh yeah, it would just be @ Wakefield Environmental Sustainability Committee for people to find it. Yeah,
I think
perfect.
For, username, I put Wakefield ESC.
Cool. Okay, great. Perfect. When it's up and running, send us a note so that we can follow it, and add it to signage and stuff. Very cool. Woohoo! Yes. Instagram. 21st century.
And we were but we're still waiting to hear on final approval, or were we given a thumbs up from Jen about the general idea? And it was just.
Oh yeah, she gave us a thumbs up and helped William with like making it happen. Yeah.
All right.
And she'll have access to it also, right, William?
Should I link her in the email as well?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I can do that.
Cool. Fantastic. And then the email list. How many people are on the email list? Is that an easy thing to see? I wasn't sure if that was in the...
I can do that. Just give me probably 30 seconds or so. I probably need to log in.
I've used it a couple times lately. One for putting out word about the MRF tour, which is item 6 on our agenda, and also and promoting our next in-person event. I was thinking about doing an email roundup of some of the Earth Day posts, because there have been so many great informational, not event related posts this month for Earth Day. So I was thinking about capturing a set of them in a sort of digest-y email, but I've not gotten around to it yet. If either of you wanted to do it, you're welcome to take that off of my to-do list, but eventually I'll get to it.
No shade at you for not doing it yet, but did I mention my short timer's disease? So
yeah. Okay.
There's 39 subscribers to the email list right now, but so it has grown a bit on its own and people are able to add themselves, but I do think the way to keep it growing is to get those signups at events like next week's event and anything else. Right. And again, for those of us who either for either those who are not comfortable with social media or those like me who are comfortable with social media but don't integrate it into our workflows, the email list is a nice alternative. So
yeah, absolutely. And I'll periodically do a Facebook post about, hey, join our email list. But yeah, I agree that the in-person events are probably the place we get the most new eyeballs.
And you are an owner of that, as is Dan. Whoever might join the subcommittee. After the new people come on, we can add them and take off Dan. And and I'll remain an owner. I have to stay an owner of this, I think, for it to
Right,
stay
since it's their
hosted
tufts.
where it is for the time being. I am always happy to help out with anything, if anything comes up,
Thank you.
it's not a horrible interface, but
Right.
if anything is
If
confusing.
we get stuck, we know where to find you.
You know where to find me.
Yep.
But if we should probably add at least one more owner. I think there should always be
Yeah,
two
I've
ESC
seen
owners at a
we
time.
have 3 additional members joining the ESC next month. So when they do, we'll see which, if any of them want to join the committee and the subcommittee, and then we can add them also as owners.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, next is our in-person event. I'm taking terrible notes. I wrote in event. That's not, those aren't words. In-person event. It's coming up in a week from,
Oh boy,
right?
I better
The
figure
3rd.
out something to say.
Yeah, you'd better.
No, I have a talk prepared. I just want to update it a little bit.
Perfect. So yeah, we've got some posters up around town, including in the big official kiosks, but also, handful of other shops and places. It was in the most recent newsletter from the library. Their official library newsletter promoted it. It's in the online listings in the one of the patch or the item, but maybe both. I'm certain I sent it to both, but I added it myself to one of them. There's a Facebook event. Feel free to share the Facebook event with folks. I find that can sometimes be a good way to get the actual date on people's calendar, not just oh, that sounds interesting, and then they don't do anything about it. And I'm going to do some more promotion over the next week on Facebook, but other ideas, any other things on folks' mind of how to get word out for this one? I think last time I checked, we only had about 15 people signed up. The room can hold 50, so. And Sean, feel free to share it to, people in your realm.
Yeah, can do. I do think that also with a week away, then that is the right time to do another round on the Facebook groups and everything. And but looking forward to it either way, and whether it's 15 or 50 or somewhere in between. Packed rooms are nice, but small groups are sometimes nice for more informal conversation. So
yeah, it might be more, people engage and ask more questions and stuff. So yeah.
Was this so sorry, if you said something I missed, was this shared at the high school a bit, or is there a high school channel where it can?
Yeah, I've put up posters along the high school, as well as put out things on the classrooms.
Thank you. Fantastic.
I will say that I'm not completely sure I will be able to show up there because it's a day away from my AP exam, but if I do have time, I will try to be.
All good. It will be recorded by WCAT, so you can always watch it later if you're busy. AP exams are important.
Yeah. Understood, and break a leg on the AP exam.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is this?
AP US History.
Good. What else? Anything else for promoting it? At this point, we've done just about all the things that we did for the last one. I'll send something out to the ESC members to remind them to share it out some more.
Yeah, I saw the thing at the town hall a few weeks ago on the screen there too.
Cool. Oh, we should put. I will make myself a reminder. We should surreptitiously tape a sign up to the Galvin door when people go to vote tomorrow morning. Are there any bulletin boards on the way in?
I think there might be some along that hallway there, but I'm not sure.
Well, I have a couple left printed out. I will bring them
Okay.
with me, and we're gonna
Are
vote.
you voting in the morning?
7:30. Yeah, we tend to vote right
Oh.
7:30, right before bringing kiddo to
Okay.
school. So I'll try to get a couple up right
Then you'll
before.
be there before me. I think I'm stopping in at 10:30. So
Okay. Sounds good. What else? And I got coffee, the coffee that you recommended
oh,
for
great.
the door prize. And then I think, did I say in this one that late refreshments would be served? I don't remember if I promised that as I
Oh.
promised it the last time. I'll check the flyer. I suppose I can stop sharing for a moment and check the flyer. Yeah, late refreshments will be served. Bring your own water bottle. Cool. Ideas on particular light refreshments that you think people would appreciate? I overdid it last time.
You know, when I do, I sometimes bring a little, I sometimes bring individually wrapped chocolates and a lot of mandarins for things when I do these coffee hour events for our doctoral students, and so I find like a little bit of something sweet but not too cruddy. So either but yeah, the bags of mandarins and individually wrapped chocolates, or some sort of crunchy oatmeal cookie or something. Like I have like 3 or 4 things I always get at Whole Foods, so I that I find fit. If we want things that I'll be talking about, I mean, cocoa's always good, but I know I'll be talking about almonds are one of my, almonds are one of my examples. So we could have almonds. Yeah. You know, I'm also there's wheat, corn, almonds, coffee, tea, and peaches are some of the examples I know I'm discussing. But
peaches aren't in season, so I'm not going to try to get peaches.
Maple syrup, so those little maple sugar candies, they're not really individually wrapped. They're often like wrapped in packs of 4 for some reason, right? You know, the little syrup. But those are some of the things that get shout outs.
All right. Well, that's a good set of ideas. I'll grab some things at the store early next week.
So what is I know you said you have a small budget for these types of events, but is that an ESC specific budget, or is that a separate budget line you were given from the?
Yeah, it's for the whole ESC.
Okay.
So we can buy $30 worth of snacks.
Okay.
Plus the coffees that will give us the door prize.
All right.
So.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, that's anything else for the event that you think of?
No. There's
and I would just say, like, you should
I don't need to bring should I bring my own laptop, or should we just bring a memory key with, I do have a slideshow, so.
I don't remember. I think last time Gretchen brought her own.
I can do both.
Laptop. Why don't you bring your own laptop?
I'll bring a laptop and I'll have it on a memory key as well.
Okay, perfect. And I think WCAT will want to take it from you, or you can email it to them after. They'll like give you an email address to send it to, so that when they put the stuff together, they have the visuals or whatnot. Okay. And they'll probably want you. So we start at 7. So if you can get there around 6:30ish, just to get microphoned. 6:40. You won't get lost. You know where the library is.
And isn't that upstairs room, or?
No, it's in the downstairs room.
Downstairs, okay.
Yeah, like if you're heading to the children's room, but then you take a sharp right
Is that the
when you
same
get down the stairs.
that the previous event was at?
Yep. That's right.
All right.
It's called like the lecture room or something like that.
All righty.
Cool. Good, good. Can you think of anything else? Well, email me if you think of anything.
And sorry, the length of the event for, I should be aiming for 40 to 45 minutes or?
Yeah, I think we have the room until like 8:30.
Okay.
The library itself closes at 9, but they
Alright.
want time to take the chairs down. So yeah, like 40 minutes and then 20 minutes of Q&A.
Okay.
I think is about right. Does that work?
That works. I can expand or contract to almost any length of time.
Well, and you're a professional, like you'll gauge the level of enthusiasm of the crowd and do the examples that are exciting.
Do my best.
Awesome. Next item is the MRF tour. I'm very excited about the MRF tour. So this is a direct follow-up from last in-person event. And so Gretchen is going to take us, or Gretchen and her team are going to take us on a tour of the recycling facility. I've got about 14 or 15 people, I think, who have expressed interest from between like the in-person event, the ESC members and the ESC announce email list. So I was going to send out, I sent an email to Gretchen yesterday confirming the possible dates and times, and just some like details on, how long is the tour, because people might need to know that for when they're available. And I was going to just send out a doodle to get like find availability and pick the best date for that.
All right. I'm sending you an email response so that I'm in there. I meant to respond. I really would like to go as well, but my schedule is especially weird the next few weeks to month and a half. So
okay,
I'll fill out the doodle. But are you thinking this thing you want to do like May, or are you thinking like summer, or like what?
May to June. I was thinking like mid-May to end of June.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and
right,
if I doodle and we only, no date has more than 8 people, then I'll look into July, August.
All right. Well, then
more important to get a
then
good
maybe
group,
so yeah, no. If June dates are on the table, then maybe something will work. But June, May is
on the table. May is crunchy. Yeah, I think May is probably crunchy for a lot of folks. So my guess is that we'll end up after Labor Day.
June may also be possible for me as well.
Cool. Good. And you're already on my list, right? You're not. All right. Adding you to the list now too. Well, yeah.
And is the idea that we just get ourselves there and
I'd really like to carpool.
Yeah. But our own vehicles, we're not talking about renting a van or a bus.
I talked to Melissa about renting a van or a bus. We could potentially. I haven't looked into cost of that yet. I was partly waiting to see, like, are we talking about 8 people or 16? It would be nice. I think it's in Peabody on Route 1. It's not far. I think it's like a 20-minute drive, but parking over there isn't great. And it's sure, from environmental reasons, it would be great for us not to drive over in 15 separate vehicles.
Oh, this is Greenwood. Okay, yeah. I've actually seen it from the outside.
Right? Yeah, I've driven by it.
Like you don't see the facility, but there's like a wall and some marking on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any
So
places to park a bike?
oh, it's right off of Route 1. I don't know if it's even safely bikeable. I'm sure there's somewhere to park a bike, but I don't know if I would advise biking there if you have to get on Route 1 to get there. Route 1 is terrifying. Like, it's terrifying when you're in an enclosed car, from my perspective. I would certainly not put a bike anywhere near there. that you probably like back roads it through a parking lot or something. We should explore that. I'm confirmed. There are a couple of different places along that there. Like if you just Google Republic Services locations, there are a few locations, including 2 in Peabody. So I want to confirm with Gretchen, so we're making sure we're gonna all show up in the right spot. But when I get the address, I'll share it.
Yeah, it's the one right on Route 1. I'm pretty sure it's on the northbound side.
Yeah.
So if we're southbound, then getting there on a bike is possible. If it's northbound, then can't get there from here.
Real tough. Yeah. So at the very least, if there are people who don't have access to vehicles, we will certainly make sure we can carpool, you know, for anyone to have a ride who needs one. But it would be kind of nice to be able to do a van or two to just get us all there, you know, in a smaller number of vehicles. But I was going to see how where we wind up on how many people are going and like what the cost is of a van for a few hours. But at the very least, we should carpool a bunch of, you know, in as few vehicles as possible. So I'll continue coordinating that.
Yeah,
But-
it's northbound, north of 95. It's a little bit north of Centarpios, if that's a landmark for you.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else of note about that. Just that I'm trying to make it happen.
Yeah, very cool. And
I don't know if they're good-
Gretchen's gonna be our tour guide or not.
Maybe it sounded like she and someone named Caitlin are the ones who team up on tours. So I think so. But I have an email out to her for more details. So should learn more soon. But in the meantime, we've got a good, well, now with the 2 of you added, a good 21 people who are interested in going. That it caps out at 20. I'm certain that we will not find a date that all 21 interested people will be able to make it. But you know, just a max of 20 people. So
Great. All right, but if we're maxing out, then I won't invite any. We're not trying to make it bigger.
We're not,
Gretchen just
no.
came and visited a class I teach here, and
oh, cool.
I know I have several students who would love to go.
Oh yeah. Well,
We got into some of the nitty gritty, but I'll see if I can set up a
I was going to say, I'm sure you can set up another tour, especially if you're all going from the Tufts area. You could, you know, then it might be worth getting a van from there. It sounded like they do tours all the time, and it's easy to set them up. So if you think you could rustle up a bunch of additional folks, then you could do your own tour. Was it another good presentation?
Oh yeah. She's getting invited back again. I hope she'll say yes. So yeah, no, that was really good, and we had a great conversation afterwards. So
Good.
it's a class on environmental economics of food and agriculture. So she came in and spoke about food waste, but also some of the general recycling issues, and so much of that is food packaging anyway, and some of the issues are cool economic issues. So it really was a great fit for the class, but also she just did a nice job. So yeah.
Right. I can imagine that to prevent extra food, if you do less packaging for recycling reasons, you end up with more food that goes bad and more food waste, right? There's probably a...
Oh, well, that is a trade-off. Yeah, that's something we've talked about in another class as well. Yes, that is a trade-off. We've had folks in from Stonyfield, for example, talking about some of those trade-offs with some of their products and things. Yeah, that's definitely a dynamic. But she was also talking about, Gretchen was talking about some of the requirements about, you know, at what level of food waste for commercial operations do the requirements to compost kick in at that commercial level. And so, and what that looks like and how that gets enforced, which was really fascinating. Because there is some enforcement, and the enforcement is all at the facility level, and like the state inspectors will sit there, and if they smell, the food waste is what makes garbage smell, and if they smell a lot, they'll say, where was that truck from? Where's that? What's on that truck's route? And they'll figure out who might be approaching or getting over their limit and need to divert the food waste. Right, so that I thought was fascinating, that it's actually enforceable, and that the tool is the schnoz. So.
Kitty litter also smells. Our trash smells from.
Yeah, but I think at that
Yeah.
scale, it'd have to be a lot of kitty litter. Yes.
That's a good point.
Yes.
Yeah, I went to the Board of Health meeting last week because they seem to be the avenue through which we might be able to get recycling better enforced in the multifamily apartments and condos in town. So I was at their meeting telling them all about the situation and what we know, and about the waste bans and stuff, and the organics piece came up, the food waste came up, and they were interested to hear how it's like the threshold started high and is ratcheting down over time, but that right now very few entities in Wakefield does it probably apply to. Oh, interesting stuff. Sorry, we are way off topic. Oh, I had on our agenda Earth Day promotions and content, but you know what? Earth Day was 2 days ago, so
probably we shouldn't do a lot at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and as I said, I'm gonna comb back through the stuff that we post on Facebook and try to make like a nice one pager of the highlights to share around. If anyone is aware of good things folks did to celebrate Earth Day, if there was a big trash picking up somewhere or anything like that, I'd be happy to share that as a retrospective celebration. Feel free to send things my way. I'm not aware of anything. I know there's a Wakefield Warrior trash pickup coming up in a few weeks that I'll share around, but that's in mid-May, so that's hasn't happened yet. We picked up trash in our neighborhood with our neighbor, but we only did the one block. So. Next meeting. Where's my calendar? Hold on. I think next meeting would be anticipated to be May 22nd. William, how's that for you?
Just checking that right now. I think it looks good.
Okay. Well, then let's plan for that. And hopefully by then, maybe we'll have another new member. That would be exciting. And if we do get another new member, we can relook at dates and days and see what
the next DSC is May 11th. So
that's right. So we should have one by then. And William, are you around over the summer, or do you disappear after school gets out?
A little scattered. I'm gonna be in a few different states at different times, but not.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, we can be flexible this summer and pick days as it makes sense. So, and if there's a month where we just don't have a good day, we can also just not have the subcommittee meet. Plenty of other stuff going on. Any matters not anticipated that anyone wants to talk about?
Nothing for me.
Anything else we should be doing to educate the community?
Maybe I guess invasive plants and stuff.
Yeah, I did a couple of Facebook posts about that, but what ideas do you have for how we could do more education on that?
I'm guessing I could incorporate it in the Instagram thing once I get that set up.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's certainly a good visual thing. Are there garden stores in Wakefield? Yeah, there's that one over by Mellotharp.
Yeah, up Vernon Street, just north of Mellotharp. So.
Yeah. I was gonna say, is there anywhere where we should make sure that they know. I'm sure they must know. They must be like regulated to not sell and promote invasive bad plants.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the requirements are, but they seem pretty in tune with stuff there too. So that one's Gregory's, right?
That's right.
Yeah. I think that's the only one in Wakefield.
So then I can think of. Maybe we should reach out to landscaping companies.
Oh, you know that I didn't think, but Willow Tree, and maybe that's the one you were thinking of. So that's the one by the Prime gas station. They don't have.
Oh, right on that corner.
Right? Yeah. I think they have. I think they might be. I have always thought they were more of for landscaping and stuff, but they sell different things at different times. But that's not that far from me either, and I've actually never stopped there.
Never stopped there either. But yeah, well, and it feels like part of the thing on invasives is the notion of like, don't just pull them and put them in your yard waste bin to go to the yard waste place, like that you're actually supposed to put them in the actual trash or burn them. Though maybe it depends on the invasive. I'm not very knowledgeable on this. Maybe we should do like a hands-on, in someone's yard kind of event.
Yeah, Myra has some thoughts on some of this. I think she'd be a good person to chat with on the ESC.
Cool.
She's brought up some invasive issues at a few times in the land use subcommittee.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I mean, maybe that could be our next event. Start planning after this one of, how do you spot them? What do you do with them once you found them? How do you make sure they aren't, propagating into your neighborhood? Cool. I'll add that to next time's agenda. Awesome. Any other matters? All right. Well, then, thank you both. Thank you, Sean, for your participation.
Oh, thank you, Tiana. It's been great working with you, and I guess we'll finally meet in person. I can't remember. Did our paths ever cross in person?
Well, that picnic.
No, I wasn't at the picnic.
You weren't at the picnic.
And I think.
And you weren't at the last in-person event.
And you weren't at the farmers market thing, right?
No, but I was at Town
you were
Day.
Gonna be at yours. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah,
all right.
I think
well,
not.
then
So see you in person and not just on
you.
Zoom.
Yeah.
All right.
Next week. And thank you again for being a presenter for this. I think it's going to be a fun event.
Sure thing. And William, I hope I cross paths with you again soon around town somewhere.
Same here.
All right.
Great. Have a good night. Meeting adjourned.
Have a good night.